right, positive energy all the time. Good to see you all this morning. Onyx, Tasha's up early, getting ready to hit the gym, I'm sure. Hawkeye, Bobby, what's going on? Make sure you subscribe to Pharaoh Said That Live, just in case they ban this account. What's going on? Travels with Troy. Good to see you, brother. Be up early. Probably gonna put in a few lives today. What's going on, Brandon? It's a lot going on. Got a lot to talk about. Yeah, you about to hit that clock. I feel you, boy. Brandon, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Get that money, y'all. Get that money. Get that money. You say the feds are specifically targeted rappers. Not really, because these rappers are associated with the streets. Okay, so it's not like these rappers are just rappers. These rappers are affiliated with street gangs. What's going on in the ticket? So yeah, Byron, the rappers are affiliated with street gangs. And that's why they're getting in trouble. All right, we're going to get into all of that for sure. Now, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not the type of person that I don't cheer for rappers to get in trouble. I don't get on the internet and snitch or add to their cases. I don't wish bad on them. But when they make the media and there's something that I could teach from or something that stimulates my thoughts, then I'll speak on it. But yes, rappers become affiliated with the streets. And when they become affiliated with the streets, that is how everything goes haywire. I'll give you an example. I'm in the music business. And the rap group I was working with on their last 2 albums, there was 4 members. This is them right here. From your left to the right, the slim one on the left is a traveling vice lord. The one next to him with the 2 blunts on the hat is a GD. The heavy set one that passed away, rest in peace to Big Lou, he was a Black Stone. And the tall one, all the way to the right, I met in the county jail. He is a 4-corner hustler. So you have a vice lord, a GD, a Blackstone, and a 4-corner hustler. The tall one on your right is a 4-corner hustler that I met in the county jail, where through strange circumstances, I became a 4-corner hustler. You have to get the book to hear about those details. So my job was to keep them away from the vice lords, from the GDs, from the Blackstone, and me and the tall one stay away from the four corner hustlers. That was my job. We were pushing a certain type of music, right? And because we were pushing this certain type of music, we were going to events all over the country, and people were offering us things associated with this type of music. Lots and lots and lots of it. They would come to me with the propositions, and I would shoot it down. We went to the Seattle Hemp Fest. They was offering us all kind of stuff. They was coming back to the booth. I said, take it back. Buckets, take it back. We had leaders of that movement calling me, calling them. We didn't go to the meetings. We didn't accept what they were offering. I was coming out of the streets, so I made sure I cut the streets off from the music business. I didn't conduct any street business while I was doing the music business. And I kept explaining to them. Now, just think about how advanced I was. This is way back in 1999, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 4, 5, I don't through there. Look how advanced it was. I kept telling them what? Hey, y'all, we cannot do any illegal business while we're doing this music business because that will get us caught up in a RICO. That will get us in a RICO. So if I would encourage them to do illegal activities at the studio with all of us involved together, that could have got us a RICO. And then from the outside, when they say rap group from Chicago, everybody like, oh, they're targeting the rap group. No. The rap group was mixed up with the streets. And so I worked hard so we would not get caught up in a RICO. We turned down all kind of money that we could have made fast money to avoid a RICO. So it's just crazy now seeing where rappers didn't pay attention and to see what's going on now. Look at Young Thug. Lil Woody is not a rapper. He raps sometimes. Why is you with him? His reputation is not from rapping. So everybody like, oh, they targeting Young Thug. No. It's like this. You get in the music business. When you get in the music business, you just don't make money. So if you got a job, you got to keep going to work. You got to keep going to work until your career pops off. For a lot of young brothers, their work is on the corner. So they get into the music. They still working in the streets. The music begin to pop off. But now they're responsible for their team. They can't feed the whole team. They can't tell the team, y'all come out the streets, I'll take care of y'all. So they stay connected with the streets. Now, if I'm rapping and I got beef on the streets, that beef don't go away because I'm a rapper. That beef doesn't go away. It's not like they say, oh, he rapping now, leave him alone. Oh, no, it don't go like that. It's on site. On top of that, your street activities add to money, helps you make money. Because you're rapping to an audience that's familiar with all of that. You're not rapping to an audience that's not familiar with the gang culture, with the streets. So it doesn't hurt your rap career to really be about that life. That's how they're getting caught up. Look at Tekashi 6ix9ine. Look who he was running around with. That 1 foot in the music business, 1 foot in the streets. Name one rapper that's getting in trouble that wasn't involved with ridiculous crimes. I'll wait. Name one. The only one I know that was really big, that got big, that made sure they stayed out of the way was 50 Cent. 50 got to a point where he isolated himself. While Irv Gotti and them was, Dame Dash kind of isolated himself too, him and Jay-Z. Nas isolated himself. But some of them, they don't. They still stay, connected to the streets. So we're going to get into all of that. Even me, when I was in the music business, I had a friend. He was a four-corner hustler. He got caught up in some stuff with the foes. But Jermaine Dupri never was in the streets. He got caught up with the foes. So he had to get out of town. So he called me, Pharaoh. Joe, come get me. I got to get out of here. Take me me and my wife to a hotel. So I went and picked him up. I took him to a hotel. He told me the whole story, how he got caught up and how that, they was whatever. I ain't going to go into details on the internet. But yeah, he was being pressured by both sides, by the gang and by the police. Had to go. I dropped him up at the hotel, him and his wife and his child. And he said, Pharaoh, be here in the morning and take me to the bus station. I got to get out of town. So I got up in the morning, took him to the bus station. He got out. I handed him something. He went in the Greyhound bus station. 3 or 4 days later, the feds went out to the state he was at, brought him back. Brought him back, put him in the interrogation room and told him, we seen you when you left. Hey, Michael Stewart, which is me, but my name wasn't that. I had changed my name legally. The police said, Michael Stewart picked you up, dropped you off at the Greyhound bus station, and handed you a package. I had my lawyer helping him. So my lawyer said, look, leave Pharaoh out of this. Now, I never got caught up in it because I wasn't doing any type of criminal activity. I was just helping as a friend. I wasn't involved with everything he had going on with the gang. So that's why I didn't get caught up in the RICO. But the gang got a RICO. that he avoided, and I'll leave that like that. That's not going to be, I'm not going to go into the details. I might talk about that, but I'm not going to get into the details because it could possibly be an ongoing situation. My point I'm making is that, no, they're not targeting rappers. Rappers are staying in the streets. You understand? Rappers were staying in the streets. Jay-Z got out of the streets and did music full time and never needed to go back to the streets. If you're in the streets and you start rapping and you cut the streets off, cool. If you keep the streets attached to you, you're going down. So we're going to talk about this situation with Lil Baby. Now, one reason I'm talking about it is a whole bunch of noise going on about it. And it's because he is being looked at closely by the police because he went in the neighborhood where his ops was at and shot a music video. And I'm talking about this because the police said Lil Baby went to shoot a video in a place he knew he shouldn't be. And a lot of black people on the internet say, how the police gonna say he went somewhere he shouldn't be? That's what people are saying. How you can say that? You the police, he's supposed to be able to go wherever he want to go. Because a lot of people talking, you're not in the streets. So they said the police is supposed to do this, and the police is not God. They can't stand on every corner, everywhere, and protect everybody. And when you have an area where gangs live, you cannot arrest these gangs until you get something on them to arrest them for. And so if I'm over here and I'm a four-corner hustler and I'm a rapper and we beefing with the Latin King and I go shoot a video in Latin King turf, come on. I'm shooting a video somewhere. Well, I ain't got no business shooting it. And let's keep it real. Lil Baby was trolling his ops. Okay? He was trolling. Shoot it in your hood. So this idea that he can go shoot wherever he want to shoot is crazy because he was not shooting just to be shooting where he want to shoot. He was disrespecting his opposition. It wasn't no coincidence he wanted to shoot it over there. Okay? He was antagonizing the ops. Right? So this is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So this is what happened, and this is what was said.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
And the police officer is 100% right. 1 billion% correct. Because look at the results. A tragic shooting in southwest Atlanta has claimed the lives of 2 young boys and left another one injured. Around 12:40 a.m., police responded to a call from an apartment complex on Sparks Street, southwest near Peoples Street, southwest in the Oakland City neighborhood. Upon arrival, officers found one 13-year-old boy unalived at the scene. The other 13-year-old boy and an 11-year-old were rushed to the hospital where the second 13-year-old succumbed to his injuries. The 11-year-old is currently stable, according to the police. The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the 2 13-year-olds. Fox Atlanta spoke with the cousin of one of the deceased 13-year-olds. With her mother's permission, she shared some touching memories of the young boy. Now, people are going to say, well, how is he responsible for that? He's responsible for this reason right here. Authorities say that the conflict between 4PF and OMF has resulted in multiple homicides and shootings, especially since May 2024. According to police, Lil Baby, whose real name is Dominique Jones, went to the 2100 block of Verbena Street Northwest at the time to shoot a music video. That area is known to be frequented by OMF members and those associated with Dixie Court. 3 people were shot that day. A 23-year-old man, a 24-year-old man, and a 27-year-old man. They all survived. Lil Baby was not injured in the shooting. However, the feud between the 2 gangs intensified following the incident and led to gang members engaging in retaliatory attacks throughout Atlanta. Okay? So, in other words, that event started a back and forth, which eventually those 2 young people were hurt. He's going to jail. He's going to get a RICO. Now, he changed the name of the record label. But when they go to court, they're going to be like previously known as 4PF. And he can't say he's not 4PF. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? He can't say he's not 4PF. Now, you didn't change the name of the record label, but you're throwing up the foes. This is all incriminating. You are gangbanging. You are 4PF. Young brothers, let me tell you, the gang life is no good. because the gang life is full of a bunch of angry, young, and mostly uneducated brothers. And the gang life is a life of revenge because people have already lost their lives on both sides. And a man's never going to get over his mother being hurt, or his daughter, or his brother, or his cousin, or his best friend. And that never goes away. So when you have that on both sides, you basically have the Hatfield and the McCoys. Remember, the Europeans in American history, they had the Hatfield and McCoys, and they went on for years. And a lot of people got hurt between the Hatfield and the McCoys. It's the same thing. Family feud. It's the same thing. And so when people said, he got a right to shoot his video wherever he wants. No, he don't. No, 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 no. Not in the gang culture. Yeah, it's a life of revenge. It never stops. They go over there and shoot at them. They trying to hit Henry Moe. They hit Henry Moe in the leg, but they hit his friend in the chest. His friend passed away. They come back over here and shoot. They trying to shoot little school. They shoot school, but they shoot Big Raymond and they shoot Louis Left. Boom, and they pass away. And now Big School brother is in it. Louis Left brother's in it. And it grows because every time you hit somebody, all they family members are in it now. More people are more in it. So every time they go back and forth, it gets bigger, it gets bigger, it gets bigger. And so you're supposed to know, when I go and I stand in Four Corner Hustler neighborhood talking to my friends with his children, I got to know that somebody can drive up and spray up the place. If they hit me and I pass away, my cousin, who's not even in that, he gonna be on dummy. And he's not even in a gang. But it's gonna be retaliation for that. And the retaliation never stops. A lot of times the retaliation ain't fellow gang members, it's family members. Because you thought you were shooting a gang member, but you shot dude's cousin. And so Lil Baby had all that money. And rather than him concentrate on all of it's 8 billion people on the planet, 8.6 billion people. Instead of him trying to sell music out here in the world, he was caught up into that beef in that little area where he lived at, Atlanta. When you look at the world, Chicago, Atlanta, these are little bitty dots on the map. And instead of him thinking globally, he was still beefing. And then when it gets hot and Young Thug gets grabbed, he wants to change his record label name. He wants to go and hang out with rich white dudes and hug on rich white dudes to try to clean up his reputation, which, how is he going to clean up his reputation and drop another album when he already been feeding them dog food? You ain't going to be able to turn around and feed them bird food. See what I'm saying? You already built your fan base on dog food. So you can't turn around and go vegan. This is what a lot of people understand. Well, why do they keep doing that, Pearl? Because they already built that audience. There's a lot of audience out here. So if I come out and I make some pimp music about pimping, and I get a big fan base, I got a pimp fan base. I can't stop talking about pimping because that's my fan base. I don't have a gospel fan base. I don't have a rhythm and blues fan base. I was rapping about pimping, and I built a pimp fan base. You understand? And so you got to understand they're young. This is a baby pretending to be a grown man. He's not that, okay? He's a little baby. He's 30 years old. So that means in the midst of everything, he was in his mid-20s. He's just now 2 years over 28 and trying to mature, but he's already sold his soul to the devil. And when you sell your soul to the devil, he ain't going to collect when you're ready. He's going to always collect when you're not ready. You're like, I'm not ready yet. He's like, hey, a deal is a deal. We never set a time when it's time to pay. So you make a deal with the devil. Then you go out here and things doing good. You're enjoying life. And the devil said, hey, I know you're enjoying yourself, Pharaoh, but you got to go. You got to pay. You got to pay. Basically. You got to pay. Because they come out of the streets and then they start rapping. And they're protected by the streets. Because a lot of these security guards and these people that's bodyguards, this ex-felons, street dudes. Rap is street. A lot of brothers and sisters, they can't get a grip on the fact that rap is street. So they mad because rap is so grimy. But rap is going to be grimy. Because anybody that's not from the streets ain't going to rap. You'll never have a whole bunch of positive rappers. It'll never happen. Because positive people are going to be doing other things other than rapping. The only ones going to take rapping really serious is the streets. And everybody likes the dark side. Nobody likes the bright side. Nobody likes the bright side. But people, you don't want to admit that, because when you go see the Avengers or you go see Superman and you see all the stuff getting blown up, you don't know that's dark. You don't know that's the same as rap. It's the same violence. You don't know that all your TV shows is violent. All your movies is violent. All your top blockbusters is full of violence. You don't want to admit that. You want some goody two-shoe rap, but you don't never complain about no goody two-shoe movies. You don't want no goody two-shoe movies. You want violence. You want the dark side. Whether it's dealing with sex or whatever, that's what you want. You want movies about cheating and infidelity and breakups and death and heartbreaks. That's what you like. That's what you like. That's what you like. And so when these rappers come out, everybody want to see them. The good kids want to see them too, because everybody likes to get close to the flame. Everybody wants to get close to the flame. I went to see Dirt with my daughter and my stepdaughter. It was full of good young people. All them people was good. There wasn't a whole lot of street people even in it. I mean, it was like one street dude out of every 300. Real talk. They all wanted to see, they wanted to get close to that. They wanted to hear him rap about the pain and the heartbreak of women and the violence and the hardships of his life. They want to hear that. If you a nerd and you at school and people teasing you want to hear revenge music too. You want to dream about the day you get the kids that keep picking on you. So you're going to listen to that. That's going to help you build up courage to go up to school one day and handle that. You see, a lot of people say, well, Pharaoh, we used to have the positive music. Yeah, but that was because we was on a positive level already. We was already a generation coming from the Great Migration in the South, a lot of black immigrants coming here for a better life. And so that's what we was pushing, the way we was living. But since then and now, society ain't like it was when I started growing dreadlocks in 78. I started growing dreadlocks in 78. My consciousness from 1978 to 1989, then I was all over. Once I got stabbed, all that black conscious shit, that shit was over with. Because I got stabbed by a black conscious person, supposedly. All that been out the window. I ain't on none of that. That's all make believe. That's make believe. That's make believe. And a lot of people, they don't understand that a lot of the music you used to like with dudes that had bars, they're confusing bars with black consciousness. Bars is not black consciousness. A large portion of the rappers that had bars was like gangsters. Like Rakim was not that when he came out. He wasn't no positive, Cool G Rap, KRS. They was not positive like that. KRS-One began to develop himself as positive, but at first KRS-One, no, he was coming from the gutter. So this gets mixed up with hip hop. I need to do a whole live on that. The difference between conscious, bars, and the trap and drill and all that. People get that confused. They forget when Nas came out, he was on the streets of New York with a razor blade in his mouth, talking about taking people's passports. Nasty Nas was not positive, but whatever. Y'all forgot Nasty Nas? Y'all forgot Nasty Nas. Y'all just know Nas. Nas grew up and, I know I can't, and, came out of it. But the little Nas with the army clothes on and Mobb Deep in there, come on, man. Have you listened to Mobb Deep? They were not choir boys. They were not choir. There was very little positive music. Very little, comparatively speaking. There was fun music. Dance, fun music. You know, the Big Daddy Kane, he was on some fun music and being a player. Queen Latifah, fun music. MC Light, it was fun music. The Biz Markie and them, they had the fun music. You had the gangster stuff. And you had a little bit of conscious stuff. Very little, comparatively speaking. Very little. Very little. And so these young brothers, this brother then basically threw his life away. He's probably going to be in a RICO because he's already let the authorities know that he's for PF. Right? They got millions of pictures of him with known criminals and gang members, I'm sure. And now these young children that lost their life all because he went in the neighborhood to shoot a video, stunting, so we can come back and put the video and say, man, I shot my video right in y'all neighborhood. And the police couldn't do nothing because they got, their gun laws in Atlanta are not tight like that. So it wouldn't have did no good for them to raid the video shoot because everybody had the right to have their gun. Because they always gonna have some dudes with them that got the right to have it. They're in the South. If they would have been in Chicago, the police could have raided the video shoot and took a whole bunch of people to prison, to jail. But because they're in the South, it wasn't much the police could do about the video shoot. But if they shot the video in the Opps neighborhood, they was packing heavy. So he went down there, crazy. The Lil Baby went down there to shoot his video and expecting drama, which happened. The day of the video shoot, 3 people got shot. Because he went there expecting that. He didn't just go over there and think it was sweet. He went over there with an army. Because he was young. He wasn't thinking. This is why you see him trying to change his image. That's why you've seen him doing all the fake stuff. That's why you've seen Lil Baby faking. Okay? Trying to get the police off his back. That's what this was all about. Trying to look like a good, no, I'm not that no more. You see what I'm saying? And they knew it, so they exploited him. They know what he's doing. They know what he's doing. They know exactly what he's doing. You think this man don't know what Lil Baby's trying to do? You're like, oh, you trying to come over here. These people got intel. They got intel. They know everything about you. They know all your crimes. They know investigations on you that you don't even know. So he went over there trying to play, and they made him commit. Don't come over here trying to fake with us. That's what all this was about. He gangstered. He a gangster, but he got gangstered by a real gangster. You see this move? You see Lil Baby's face, and you see where he's looking. He's looking right into the camera. It's intentional. Shoot it. Got him. I got him. Shoot it now. Shoot it now. Got him. This is all done with the cameraman right there. This is all intentional. To let him know, don't play with us. You're going to come over on this side. You're going to have to stay over here. But then he trying to go, and he trying to go back, and he trying to drop an album to clean this up. And here come the feds. Oh, oh, you okay? Here come the feds. They coming. They coming. The feds coming. They gonna come for Young Thug too. That was state. He's not. He's not clear. That was state. All that paperwork and all that stuff went right to the feds. The feds says, let's do this the right way. Let's. The feds coming. The feds is coming. Because they didn't shot Atlanta up and messed up the legal money in Atlanta. Got too wild. You know what I'm saying? Got besides themselves. A lot of people getting hurt. People leaving. You know, I remember about 6, 7 years ago, everybody was trying to go to Atlanta. Not no more. People trying to leave from Starport. He got the hell out of there. People trying to get out of there because it ain't that no more. I remember a few years ago, I went down there. I'm talking to my boy. He's like, well, you on your way, Ram? I'm like, man, I'm on my way to Atlanta. He's like, well, make sure, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you get them to park your car. Don't park in that parking lot because they're going to rob you before you get to your car. Atlanta's like the Bay Area. They go in garages, they bust every window in there, taking guns and stuff out of the car. Your window going to get busted. They boofing like a mother. Boop, 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 boop. Take everything you got down there. Crime is through the roof down there now. A lot of my friends, they moved to the suburbs. They ain't in Atlanta City. They out on the outskirts out there. They didn't mess the city up. Gangs. Police was behind. They got the worst gang problem because they got all the gangs. They say it ain't like Chicago. We just got Chicago gangs. But they got hybrids. You know, they got hybrid GDs and hybrid BDs and hybrid Crips and Bloods. You know, Young Thug and them, they really wasn't no Bloods like that. They was some other stuff. They was some hybrid Bloods. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't standing on the codes of the Bloods like that. They was YSL. And they're young. So they'll be in the gang on the street. And then they'll put it on the record label, which is the craziest thing ever. Like, bro, if y'all out in the streets like that, why would you name your record label after the gang? You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, nobody really respected that in Chicago anyway. You know what I'm saying? There was talks about going and hollering at them. You know what I'm saying? There was talks in Chicago about going to see Lil Baby and them. Seriously. Like, people was like, what are they doing? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Some people didn't mind too much. They was like, well, they was like, the P down there. And so people was like, well, the P down there, and he used to be around them. But a lot of other brothers was like, man, nobody care nothing about that, man. They can't be that. They can't be that. You know what I'm saying? So you just crazy. Even to even use that was crazy. That could be smoke from that, just that. Anyway, just using that was just. I don't know what's wrong with these brothers. Down there, in most of these cities, they need to not be in gangs anyways. If you got a bootleg your gang, then maybe it ain't for you. If you got a bootleg, be a bootleg blood or something, and you got to take somebody else's stuff, and then maybe it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? If you got to take the four corner hustlers thing, if you got to take that and do this, you bogus anyway. You know what I'm saying? You bogus anyway. I'm not in the streets, but if I was, we would have extorted him. As soon as he hit Chicago, he would have had to. He would have had to run that bread. You know what I'm saying? He would have had to run it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you straight up. I ain't active, so I just let it go. But I did bring it up to a couple of brothers. And they was like, bro, you ain't even active like that. Let it go. I said, I know I'm not active. I'm trying to figure out what y'all on. How y'all going like that? You know what I'm saying? I never understood. I don't like 4PF. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. It ain't no 4PF. It's 4CH. But whatever, though. You know what I'm saying? That's one reason I couldn't be in the streets because I'm too crazy. So the streets definitely wasn't gonna work for me. I couldn't do it. I just wanted to get my money. I didn't want to get involved with that because I come from a militant world, and then you take a militant and put him over there, and that you got a mess. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't honoring dude none. He a lame to me. I'm gonna just keep it real. To me, but it is what it is. You know, I don't know why he would want to do that. There's a lot of people went to prison doing that here in Chicago. Why would you want to do that? All the big guys locked up. Why you want to be this? Why would you take that, man, and do that? Somebody make it make some sense. Like, make up your own stuff. Like, what is you doing? What is you doing? These young brothers, man, they need to leave that alone. Why is he throwing up the foes? Bro, you not that. You know what I'm saying? Based on who? Like who? You know what I'm saying? Just crazy. You know what I mean? He should have just did his music and left that life alone. Did some research and see all the guys locked up, bro. All the guys passed away. Where Larry at? Where Prince Malik at? They locked up. You young brothers, leave that gang stuff alone. Leave it alone. Leave that alone. They stole it. It ain't no similar. This is four corner hustler stuff they stole because it was foes down there. The P and them was down there. Okay? That's what it is. They stole it. Okay? Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. It's a bootleg four-corner hustlers. That's what they is. Okay? Bootleg. That's what they is. It's bootleg. Anybody from Chicago will tell you. It's bootleg. And you gonna go to jail for that? Trying to be that? That didn't even work out for the guys here. That didn't work out. I'm bringing all that up to let y'all know that did not work. It didn't even work here in the city. It's a dead end. Why would you want to imitate that? Make it make some sense. It don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Young brothers, stay out of that. Leave that alone. Up here in Chicago, we got the Spanish foes. We got all of that. None of that is benefiting nobody. Dudes is doing all that gang banging. They getting a certain age. They trying to change their life around, but their whole life done already passed them by. Out here trying to gang bang. You know what I'm saying? Out here trying to gang bang. Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Why would you go to somebody else's hood and shoot your video? Why? Make it make some sense. We're a bootleg gang. But you ain't gonna get no bootleg time. You're gonna do real time. Like all you young brothers need to do is do your research on the OGs in the gangs. And if you did your research, you wouldn't want to be in it. I've been around some of the hardest gang members ever. They all hard-headed. They don't listen. They won't make no changes. I talked to all the gangs in Chicago. I've talked to many of them. In one ear, out the other. They will not listen. They got the manpower. I kept telling them, you got the manpower. Go legal. In one ear, back out the same ear. Don't even go out the other one. So he up here pushing this, looking like a loser because you stole it from this. This is the original. Before you was born, you a baby. Were you 30 years old? All right. The foes is older than him. You know what I'm saying? He a little boy. He a little boy. He gonna steal. You know what I'm saying? He gonna steal. You see the four with the line with the C and the H? That's how it's drawn. Just like this. That's how it's drawn. You can't even think of nothing. You went and stole that? You mess around and get locked up and end up in a penitentiary with a bunch of vice lords and foes, and you got that PH on your arm, I don't know. They might make you line up with them. I don't know what they might do. You're gonna have to ride with the foes. You ain't gonna be able to maybe they might take offense to it. Yeah, there you go right there. I got the tattoo right here. It's this with the CH on there. That's just not real. It's an insult. You know what I'm saying? It's an insult to me. Make up your own stuff. You know, the brothers and sisters down in Atlanta, stop it. You ain't about that life. You trying to be Crips from LA. You trying to be Bloods from LA. You trying to be folk corner hustlers from Chicago. Let it go. Just let it go and get you some money. Atlanta's a money town. Get you some money. Start you some legal businesses and get money. Leave the gangs alone. You not that. Y'all ain't that. Stop trying to prove yourself over something that ain't worth even proving yourself. You ain't that. Y'all in mad violation down there. Y'all under mad violation down there. Stop. You're doing the whole thing wrong. Okay, the Fed's gonna come down there and get all of y'all after they seen the way they ruined the YSL case. The Feds is coming. Okay, you really think the Feds is not coming? They coming. Like, leave it alone. Leave the gang stuff alone. Leave it alone. That's what I would say. Leave it alone. Because you're not built like that. You ain't that. This is all a violation in real gang territory. You could never be no folk on hustler, and we catch you like this, bruh. You can't never be. We not. What we doing? Y'all ain't like that. Okay? Y'all ain't like that. Stop. Y'all, let it go. Let it go. Go do something. If this is your gang chief, it's time to stop gang banging. If this your leader, it's time to stop. Because you came to a real city with that, you'll get did dirty. You understand? I'ma just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You come here, you come here with any of this talking about you standing on business, man, all right. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna join? Who gonna join you? Now you don't want to go to prison. I bet he was scared. I bet he was scared. Because he come in any penitentiary in America. They gonna have them pictures hanging up on the wall. You understand? That gonna be in everybody's cell. As soon as you come in there, they're gonna be on some loose cannon. They're gonna be like, sweetie, sweetie. As soon as you hit that, you're gonna think everybody's loose cannon. As soon as you hit there, boy, listen, you have a long prison sentence. Boy, you not gonna be nobody gangster. You ain't, and they all explaining in the world. He ain't not nobody gangster. I'm just saying. I wouldn't take no orders from him. I wouldn't take no orders from Young Thug. He would have been in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. You know what I'm saying? He would, ain't no way I would take no orders from him. You know what I'm saying? Or him. If your name Lil Baby, nah. Mm-mm. They trying too hard to prove themselves to be something they really not. Anybody could pull a gun and shoot it. And so these young boys, they getting these guns, and they not like that. We got that in Chicago now too. We got a whole bunch of young boys, peel heads on perks and stuff. They get a gun, now they tough Tony. They ain't nothing, but they get the gun, and they get a couple of the losers with them, and now they think they the biggest people in the world and just throw their lives away. They ride around with them guns all in them cars, high, and they going to jail left and right. The police pull them over, you in the car, you got 2 switches in there, all that. You going to jail. Then he go to jail. We know he's supposed to do 15 or 20. 3 years later, he out. How he out? They telling. They telling. Anytime you get a young brother on the streets trying to act like he's something he not, getting involved with crime, and he get the threat of being locked behind them walls where he can't pretend no more, he gonna sing like a bird. He gonna sing like a bird. Then he gonna come back out and still try to pretend he that. But he not. They gonna tell. So yes, he going to prison because he a lame and his crew is lame and they soft and they gonna tell. They gonna tell on him. And he probably gonna tell. He probably gonna tell. He look like he'll tell. Is this the same dude? It looked like 2 different dudes to me. This looked like the real one right here. You know what I'm saying? He gonna tell. He not going, he ain't ready for, if you let them, because man, you would have run up on me trying to grab on me like that. So they looking in prison like, yeah, we're going to hug you too as soon as you get here. This picture going to be hanging up in their cells. All this stuff will follow you right to prison. I'm telling you, in the door. In the door. We losing these young brothers out here left and right, and then our babies is dying out here because you out here beefing. You don't know how to shoot. And you don't fight. You understand? You don't know how to fight, because if you learned how to fight when you was in the 3rd grade, the 4th grade, the 5th grade, if you learned how to fight, by the time you got in the 7th, 8th grade, you wouldn't be fighting no more. So when you hear these brothers talk about, man, put the guns down and fight, the brother that say put the guns down and fight is a punk. The one that's talking about fighting too. If you're a grown man and you talk about fighting, you're a punk. Because if you would have learned how to fight and you would have had fights in the 3rd grade and the 4th grade, you ain't with no fighting. Fighting all the time, brothers come up here. Fight like a man. Men don't fight. Way out, get that. Little boys fight. And because men still believe men can fight and you can't fight, you run to get the gun. Nobody want to break this down. They run to get the gun because they still believe they're supposed to be fighting. And once you believe you're supposed to fight, you'll be all disrespectful. But if you was fighting when you was little boys, then you would learn some conflict resolution and you would chill You wouldn't be all disrespectful to the other brother and like that. By the time we got into 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, we was already learning how not to be disrespectful. My generation. By the time I got to high school in 1972, we wasn't fighting. There was no fights. The only time a fight would break out is maybe the football players get in there, testosterone up, they pushing and shoving, and they might get into a little something. But you never seen, when I was growing up, you never seen big boys fighting. The only people used to fight is 3rd graders, 4th graders, 5th graders, 6th graders a little bit, maybe 7th grade. By the time you get into 8th grade, you're trying to be on some grown man stuff, and our daddies didn't fight. Our daddies did not fight. Our mamas did not fight. When my childhood grew up, I never seen adults have an argument. I never seen adults from 2 different families have an argument my whole childhood, nowhere in the whole city of Chicago. And I was all over Chicago, and you would never see 2 grown men on the block arguing or fighting. Never. When I say never, I mean never, ever. The only place you would hear about violence is it happened at a dice game. But in regular black society, you never seen no grown-ass men fighting. Ever. Never. Never. You never seen your daddy in a fight or an argument. Never. Your daddy get out his car, the other neighbor get out his car, they do this, hey, what's up, Smitty? Hey, what's up, Randolph? And they go in the house. They get out, they didn't even hang out. They only hung out with family, and that was on special days because everybody got to go to work. Other than that, Black American men and women did not hang out at all. Maybe if there was alcoholics, they'll be at the bar. I never seen a fight. I'm not going to tell you no lie. My whole childhood, I never seen black adults fighting. The first time I seen black adults fighting was like in the 90s when they started fighting in Chuck E. Cheese. Young black adults in Chuck E. Cheese fighting. I said, what the hell is this? Chuck E. Cheese fights was the first. I said, grown blacks is fighting in front of the children. It was weird to me. I was like, what the hell kind of adults is these? You see street media TV, we can hang out for 15,000 years. We'll never have no fight or no argument or no weirdo stuff like that, because I'm not finna say nothing weird to that brother, like some weirdo stuff. We ain't finna be talking weird and talking crazy. Well, did you just say that to the other brother? Like, for what? And if you did have somebody that was funny acting with you, just never hung out with him no more. You're like, nah, man, I don't like being around Phil, man. He be, you know what I'm saying? So Phil be over there with his friends and you be over there with your friends. You don't still run up with Phil, under Phil, and you and Phil really ain't. You let Phil go that way and you go that way. Everybody wasn't friends, but we wasn't enemies. You over there with them, I'm over here with them, you over there with them, and you over there with them. That's how it used to be. Everybody hung out with who they got along with. You didn't not get along with nobody because you didn't hang around with them long enough for it to turn into that. You didn't just hang around just anybody. You hung around the people you got along with. They hung around the people they got along with. But I don't get along with you necessarily. I don't dislike you, but then I go stand up on you and make it turn into dislike. Now it's going to turn into dislike because we keep on bumping heads instead of you go over there and you go over there and we all cool. I had dudes that was kind of funny acting in the 5th grade, 4th grade. I just stay away from them and hang around my guys. By the time I see them and we in high school, we cool. Because he was a little boy on some little boy stuff. By the time I see him in high school, we on a whole nother level. What up, Lou Jack? What up, so and so? They ain't even on what they was on in the 6th grade no more. We cool. We done matured. But I still don't hang around him. I don't go hang around, you know what I'm saying? Keep your distance. Y'all stop going around each other fighting and stuff. Like the way brothers be trolling. Stop trolling other brothers. That should be a violation. Stop going on brothers' accounts and brothers' live stream, trolling your brother like that. Trying to start an argument with your brother instead of go mind your business and drop your own commentary. Drop your own commentary where you at. Why is you always in front of all these people around the world kicking it off with your brother? Then you want to say the gang members is crazy. Yeah, but you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You antagonizing people all on social media. People want to hurt you too. Because we doing too much. And in the meantime, we behind. We way behind. We way behind. This brother made all that money. He made all that money for what? To throw away a bunch of it in the court system. To give a bunch of it to lawyers. Look at Diddy. He made all that money for what? He couldn't just sit down, be a mature father, a mature husband, and just make his music and get his money. He had to be out here clowning. What kind of man gonna beat up a woman like that, like he did Cassie? Who do that? If you raised right, it ain't no way you can even hit a woman. I don't even know how a man hit a woman. It make me squeamish to just think about it. Like how I hit a woman? That just seemed weird. That's like kicking a kitten. Why would I just kick a kitten? Why would I hit a woman? It's a woman. She's soft. When I see a man, I see you hit a woman, I already know something wrong with you. Because how you even do that? How you even get that in you? I can't even comprehend that. Sometimes I've been with a couple of women, girlfriends, and they want to fight. And I be all discombobulated. I'm like, I gotta leave you. I don't be what? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do when a woman want to get violent. I'll be lost. Because I'm thinking if I do something, then when the police get here, you're going to be innocent. You're going to be all broke up into pieces, and then I'm going to be the demon. You the big bad wolf, but if I do something, you're going to be a fragile kitten when they get here, and they're going to be looking at me crazy. So I got to go. I got to get away from you because I don't fight no women. This is weird. I don't even fight no men. If you a man that want to fight and you walk up to me and want to fight, I'm going to walk away. I'm definitely going to walk away from a fight. If you roll up on me, Pharaoh, what's up now? I'm going to turn around and walk the other way. Period. For two reasons. For one, I don't fight. And for two, I need to beat this in court. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to push the issue. But I'm not going to fight you regardless. So that's on you. If you want to play with your life like I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not out here doing no arguing and no fighting and no running up and down for these police to lock me up. If I hurt you, then I get locked up. We both lose. That's what these brothers doing. They killing the brother, unaliving. We ain't got no free speech. They'll unalive a brother. And then they go to prison. We lose two brothers. To the point where some little young youth that been all caught in the crossfire with these boys that's trying to act like they men running around in the black neighborhood, black community, shooting up the black community, just shooting it up. Millionaires. A lot of them too. If you went and looked at how many rappers been unalived, it'll blow your mind. It's so many rappers that's unalived, they ain't even got no list of all of them. That's for real. That's how bad it is with black people in America. It's bad. The black man need to get himself together. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make music and stay out the way. Because you ain't that intelligent. And you're going to get all on the record and say all your crimes. And they're going to they're going to go to court and play your record. Look at Dirk. All that money. His brother got killed. How your brother get killed? And you little Dirk with all that money. Why is your brother at a club? Why? Why D-Thang at a club? Why? He's supposed to be dipped off somewhere. He know you beefing. He know you on the record talking crazy. Why would he go to a club? Duck. Why Duck down there shopping? All on the record beefing. He down there walking around like stuff sweet. King Von. Why you tell them, instead of taking you on home to where y'all going, why you tell them, oh, I want to go to this club, I want to go to this spot, and go over there and see them and jump out the car, want to fight, and you're supposed to be King Von, you're supposed to be making all this money. Now you're a rap star, you jumping out the car, want to fight. Then the other brothers, instead of breaking the fight up, you start shooting. Now your cousin dead. Because you started shooting when you should have went and broke them up and tell them chill and break that up. I was supposed to break that up and get on some songs and get some money so you get that Atlanta, Chicago money. What's wrong with you? Bro, we not finna fight. Let's get on the song and get this money. Now Von gone, can't get no money. The one that's behind the fight and all that, he can't get no money, not like that. He can't show up. You think that boy could come to Chicago and do a show? He wouldn't never get out the city. And ain't nobody going to see him. Boy, you kill Von. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. These brothers is crazy. Yeah, you get away from trouble. You doing right, Street Media TV. Ain't nothing out there. Ain't nothing out there but trouble. That's all that's out there. It's a shame, man, and it's a shame them little boys got three little boys got shot like that. Two of them passed away. 13 years old boy had just turned 13 years old. One day he turned 13 years old and he's gone. Some little boys ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And them little boys gone. Them little boys gone. All because Lil Baby want to go to the hood and he want to antagonize his ops. That's why they have all that jury on. They be antagonizing their community that support them. They're like, look at me, look what I got. I'm doing better than all y'all. And then after people see that for so long, they stop buying your music because you stunned on your supporters. That's everybody that bought your CDs and stuff. That's their music, bought your music. What's going on, Ross Chris? But then you get out here with 1,000 chains on your arm and millions of dollars worth of jewelry, and you ain't got no love for the hood or nothing. You ain't got no love for black people. You just out for yourself. Still committing violence. 30-year-old Lil Baby. How you Little Baby at 30? How you a little baby? The whole name is messed up. Bro, you ain't no little baby. You a grown man. You know what I'm saying? You a grown man. So I just wanted to talk about that because people were saying the police can't say he shouldn't have been in the neighborhood. I could say it. Y'all ain't from the streets. Y'all don't talk on this. Talking about because the police said, I'm going to play it one more time for you. Listen what the police said. And this is definitely a disclaimer, okay? Fair use, all right? This is fair use.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
And he's right. That is a coward move. You come in the neighborhood where your ops at, but you come with a whole bunch of security and bulletproof cars and right? Right? So you ain't coming like how the rest of us got to be in the hood. You coming with a whole military in the hood, like, see, I'm in your hood, you can't do nothing. Yes, they can, but you got a whole military. They come and shoot up the video shoot. They come and they actually shoot up the video shoot. Think about that. They come and they shoot up the video shoot. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Well, you done came down in there and all hell break loose. Now, 2 little boys lose their life. Because you're going to go down there. You know what I mean? Nah, bro. He went down there. People got shot at the video shoot. At the video shoot. Then the little boys got shot later because everybody kept shooting after that. Look, Authorities say that the conflict between 4PF and OMH has resulted in multiple homicides and shootings, especially since May 2024. According to police, Lil Baby, whose real name is Dominique Jones, went to the 2100 block of Verbena Street, Northwest, at that time to shoot a music video. That area is known to be frequented by OMF members and those associated with Dixie Court. 3 people were shot that day: a 23-year-old man, a 24-year-old man, and a 27-year-old man. They all survived. Lil Baby was not injured in the shooting. However, the feud between the two gangs intensified following the incident and led to gang members engaging in retaliatory attacks throughout Atlanta. One of those attacks included the murder of OMF member Trevante Turner on June 29th at 9 Peyton Place Southwest. Following Turner's death, his cousin and gang leader, Midnight, currently incarcerated at Hancock State Prison, reportedly coordinated revenge against 4PF members through a series of phone calls and social media messages. See, y'all got to understand something. The police know exactly what happened because they be telling it. They be on social media. They be all in songs. They be all on the phone. So it's like, they say, well, Pharaoh, how you know they say intensified? Because let's say there's been a shooting here and there. Then you go over there, do a video shooting, 3 people get shot. And then after that, 3 over here, 4 over there, 5 there, 2 there. That's intensified. We can look at the records and the hospital records and the police records and seeing we had this much action here. But ever since the day you came over there, we got that started with 3 and then it intensified. They can see it. And it's real. Like I'm in Chicago. Let me tell y'all something. On everything I love. Here in Chicago, a dude could get shot right here on 42nd Street in Parnell. He land in the street, the ambulance come, the police come. He DOA, they putting the yellow tape down. While they there, they can hear the retaliation. Are y'all listening? I'm telling you, while they there, police have to zoom off 5 blocks over, 4 blocks over, because the dudes over there, they be them went over there. While the police over here, his boys go over there right then. This happens all the time in Chicago, that you can hear the retaliation while you at the first scene. Ask somebody. If you think I'm lying, follow me on Chirac Homicide. Go to X, follow Chirac Homicide. Because I've been documenting this now for like 12, 13 years. I've been documenting every shooting in Chicago, every one of them. And when you go to one shooting, you can hear the retaliation. The police got to jump in their car and they got to shoot over there. And when the wrong people get hurt, it go up. It go way up. And so if you live in certain neighborhoods and the wrong 3 dudes got shot, you got to stay in. You can't be out there hanging out because it's up. When they be saying it's up, I don't think people understand what that means. Like when I lived in O Block, when it first went up, I was in O Block when all that started. before Chief and them even got out there. They was just making records at that time. But I remember when it started, when that GD and that BD had to fight at the liquor store. And I'm telling you, once they had that fight at the liquor store, my Jeep got taped off twice. Yellow tape. Facts. And then we left and it turned to O Block. They say we need more police officers, and now they say they mad at the black cop. They mad at the black cop because they citizens, right? So it makes sense they mad at the black cop, Street Media TV, because the black cops say he went somewhere he know he had no business going. So an average citizen gonna mean like, what you mean you the police? So that's why they mad, because they don't understand. They're like, what you mean you the police? What you mean he can't go where he's supposed to go? Y'all supposed to make the streets safe. But these is just citizens. They don't know. They don't understand what the police is saying. So that's why they mad at the police, because they don't understand what he's saying. It don't make sense to them. I understand why it don't make sense. It do sound crazy for the police say, you went somewhere you know you're not supposed to go. But the average Black American, they don't understand gang violence. They don't understand a gang area. The police cannot arrest everybody in no gang area. They can only arrest you when you do something. So if this area is over here is BD, the police cannot stop that area from being BD. So now if you a GD and you go over there and shoot a video in BD area, the police gonna be like, what the hell was you doing over there? Like in Chicago, we got Terror Town. Them is all moles. If you were GD and you go try to shoot a music video in Terror Town, the police, they might not say it, but they're gonna be thinking, what the hell was you doing in Terror Town? Because we have areas in Chicago where everybody is that. They might not be shooters, but everybody is that. So I lived in O Block and it was BD. Not necessarily shooter BD, but BD. Your woman is basically BD. She don't even got to say she BD. Your baby is BD. And everybody in your family is under protection of BD. And you hear little boys walking down the street. My mom bought me some new shoes. Your mom ain't bought you no new shoes. First graders, your mom ain't bought you no new shoes. He like on BD, on King David, my mom bought me some new shoes. That's why I let my children go outside. I heard Shorty and them walking to school, and the little boy said, my mom bought me some new Jordans or something like that. They say, your mom ain't bought you no little Jordans. He like a kindergarten, first grade. He said, on BD, my mom bought me some new Jordans. On King David, he said. The little boy said, on BD, my mom bought me some new shoes. On King David, because that's what everybody outside saying. On BD, on King David, on BD, on King David. That's what everybody say. So the kids say it. The kids is BD. Basically, I've lived over there. I wasn't BD, but if I'm outside and you try to do something to me in front of there and they see it and you ain't from over there, they're going to protect me like I'm BD, because basically I'm BD. I'm just living over there, you BD. Just living over there, you BD. Listen, I be in the house. Somebody be knocking at my back door. I come, they be like, Ja Rule, you better go get your car. The police out there writing tickets. BD's calling. When I lived in, listen, when I lived in LA, I lived in a Crip neighborhood. One day they knocked on my door and they had a dude. They was beating him up on the front grass. They knocked on my door. I came to the door. They said, Mr. Cuz, somebody was out. He was out here trying to take your cover off your car because we had to put covers on our car because they were spraying for mosquitoes and they'll stain your car. And I had a cover. And some dude don't live over there tried to take my cover. They was beating that man half to death in the grass because he came in a Crip neighborhood trying to take my car. And when I used to go to the swap meet, me and my queen go to swap meet, and the little boys, the little teenagers stuff say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Cuz. That's what they used to, I said, did they just call us Mr. and Mrs. Cuz? That's what they called us. They say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Cuz. And I was a roster. I was a comedic roster with dreadlocks and stuff, but we live over there. They call me and my woman Mr. and Mrs. Cuz at the Slauson swap meet. And everything in there was blue. Everything in there was blue. Tricycles, blue. Barrettes for the baby's hair, blue. Ribbon, blue. Blue Converses, blue Dickies, blue dresses, blue everything. The whole swap meet was blue. And one day, it was a brother who used to make beaver hats, a roster, and he was in the jungle. So me and my queen, was this the same queen? Maybe. Me and my queen, we went over to the jungle. Early Sunday morning, he wanted me to meet him at the shop to get a beaver made. When I got over there, it was a bunch of church people. But when I looked at them, they all had on red. The elders, the old men, the old women, the church people, their kids, everybody had on red going to church because it was a blood neighborhood. It tripped me out. Everybody had on red. They had some red on. Everybody. Everybody. They represent the hood. They ain't scared. They that. It's like a tribe. They ain't scared. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to them if they don't got red because they son that, they uncle that, they nephew that. They plug like, you know what I'm saying? They wearing it because they want to wear it. They're not wearing it because they forced. Black culture. Nobody talks about this type of stuff. Like it's like tribalism. Like me, I'm a foe. So if my son is born and the foes come over to see the baby, they all bring him some with a number 4 on it. And they all be talking about, look a little 4, look a little solid, look a little solid. My baby be solid already. Your baby solid. Your baby a 4-corner hustler. Your baby born yesterday. I'm telling you. And they all, if you're a Blackstone and you have a son or a daughter, they gonna all bring them red stuff, red and black. They gonna call your son, look a little Mo. Your son gonna be a Mo from birth. That's the real gang culture in Chicago. Your son, that. Anywhere your son go with that gang, he plugged up like, oh man, that's Big Mo's son. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, that's your daddy? Oh, okay. You automatically plugged. Better not nobody sneeze on you. That's the culture. And so people want to know, you want to know when it went bad. It went bad not because of the crack. The crack didn't make it go bad. It was the money from the crack. Because now, look, 14 and 15 years old could make 200,000 on a corner selling. Because when it first popped, the police wasn't looking for it because they didn't know it existed. So it was a long time for the police even found out about crack. By the time they found out about crack, a lot of 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-olds, they already had $250,000. So it wasn't the drugs, it was the money. And the money made them get fancier cars, and bigger guns. When I left LA to go to Hawaii, they were driving Mazdas and stuff like that. When I came back, they had big old Cadillacs bouncing down the street. Everything had changed because of the money. It was the money that changed everything, and not just from crack, from powder too. It wasn't just crack, it was powder and crack. It was money. The money changed everything. The money made people able to get bigger guns. Them guns was expensive back then. A Uzi pistol, a Mag 10, a Mag 11, a Calico. You had to have some cheese. We buying them things like, you know what I'm saying? We buying them things like it ain't nothing. You say the lack of money, not really, because if you didn't have no money, you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't do nothing if you ain't had no money. Back in the 90s, you had no money. What you gonna do? All the beef was over the money. All the beef was kidnappings, robberies, selling people bad work, stuff like that. And then that put the gangs out there. Now the gangs got bigger artillery, so now the beef's intensifying. So the same way you hear about Chicago, when I was in LA in the late 80s, it was just like Chicago. It was just like Chicago. Good to see you, Charles. When I was in LA in the late 80s, nobody could even sit in their living room. So bullets was flying in the house. Everybody had to sit in the kitchen in the back room. Because them Crips and them Bloods, they was not playing. None. A two shot. A lot of people mistaken identity because if you in a blue car, you in the blue colors, they young, they don't know. They see a blue colors, they air it out. It's a girl and a baby in there. It ain't even the right car. And when I came to Chicago in the 90s, it wasn't as intense as LA. So this was LA. Then I came to Chicago. This was Chicago. And then Chicago got intense. Chicago wasn't that intense like LA was when I got here in 1990. When I came back to Chicago in 1990, LA was on 1,000. Chicago didn't get crazy until like 2011, 9/11, somewhere that where Chicago went crazy. Chicago wasn't that crazy like that when I came back home. It was still some gangster stuff, but it wasn't like it was from 2011 on. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like LA was. And from 85 to 90 to 85 to 95, LA was the worst place in the country. It was all the way up. For real. Anybody in LA tell you LA is a dangerous place still today. And then Chicago started later. Because, folks in them wasn't beefing. BDs and GDs wasn't beefing like that. They was all folks. You had folks You know what I'm saying? You had the Finball and you had folks. So they wasn't beefing like that. That started like about 2 years before I left O Block, when it started to intensify. And then it just went crazy. I don't know. It might be going down because so many people got locked up. It might not be too many people out there to do nothing, but it's still a little dangerous. But now, shoot, LA's crazy, Atlanta's crazy, Dallas is Houston is crazy, Philadelphia's crazy, St. Louis, New York, Baltimore, Detroit. Man, I can name 15 places now that's up everywhere. It's up. But watch these new prisons they finna build. They finna build skyscraper prisons. Y'all heard about that? Oh yeah, they finna build skyscrapers prisons all the way up. They finna lock up millions of people. You going to prison for long periods of time. Watch what I'm telling you. You brothers better sit down under this Trump administration. They gonna send some of y'all to Guantanamo Bay. I'm telling you. Young brothers, go get some type of trade or some type of education and get out of the streets and stop shooting and unaliving your own race of people. Stop. Go make something out yourself. While you and brothers is beefing, y'all could be starting major companies together. Put that mind together for something positive. Go learn a trade. Go learn how to do something. Because you got to fix yourself. Nobody else can fix you because the cost of living so high. Ain't nobody got time to save you. Ain't nobody got time to save the hood. We got children. We got grandchildren. We got bills to pay. I ain't got no time to go out there on no soapbox and save you. So all that, we got to do this and we got to do that. The only thing we got to do is get some money. All them other weaves is not going to happen if we ain't getting no money. That's the only we that we should be talking about. Because that's the only we need is to get some money together. Without that, everything else you be talking about black people should do is nonsense. Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And if we as black men don't get together and black women and get some money, we're going to be through. And all of this violence and all of this negativity and all of this trolling on social media is a social design to make sure you don't get no money. Because I can't get no money with you because you argumentative, you want to fight, you want to kill each other. And so I can't get no money with you because you've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. I can't work with you. Look at the rappers. They can't work together. So their money's limited. I just seen Jim Jones somebody here whoop Cameron. I just seen Tony Yayo all on there. 50 crazy, 50 crazy. Bro, why is you saying that? That man got to go make some money. You telling everybody he crazy. You messing up business. On Vlad. That's why 50 didn't want you on Vlad. Because you don't know how to shut up. You don't, Tony, what is you doing? Why is you telling everybody your main man crazy? because you ain't no businessman and you messing up this man's business reputation. Talking crazy. Look, Tony Yayo talking crazy about 50. Cam and James Jones. You just look at the plot. I be on social media, mind my own business. Brothers gonna make 20, 30 videos about me. I don't even know you. I don't even know you. And I'm over here trying to do something positive. I ain't got out the streets. If I was in the streets, you wouldn't be talking about me. But now I'm out on the streets. I'm out here trying to put some knowledge out there. You got everything to say. Y'all young brothers get confused. Change y'all ways, get yourself together. And whatever you do, stop talking about older brothers like they ain't about their life. And think before you be talking about my generation. Think. Stop talking about me like I won't do you dirty. Think about yourself. So what, you gonna be what? You ain't gonna be nothing? So when you get 67, you're gonna be a pussy, huh? Don't talk about yourself. Stop trying to make me be you. Maybe when you get 67, you might not be shit. Well, it's different over here. I don't care nothing about age. All I care about is survival. If you're a threat to my survival, you got to go. I'm not thinking about age. I'm going to be thinking about making sure you don't have another birthday. Don't worry about my birthdays. Make sure you have another one, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about, you know what I'm saying? You worry about the wrong shit. Don't worry about my age. You try to worry about your age. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get another year. Because playing with me, you ain't going to... You know, y'all brothers got to get on point. Stop with all the negative commentary and all the negative. That's why this boy is in trouble right now, because he didn't know how to stop beefing with other brothers. He want to beef with his own Atlanta brothers. And then they want to get on this Atlanta. They want to be like, you know, like Chicago. They'll be here beefing with each other, shooting each other. But then you say something about Chicago, they'll be like, no, Chicago, all this. Wait a minute. Why y'all trying like y'all united at Chicago against everybody else, but then against each other you beefing? Do that make sense to y'all? Do that make sense for brothers to be in New York? Come on, no, New York is all that, but inside of New York, New Yorkers is killing New Yorkers. Do that make any sense? Chicagoans is killing Chicagoans, but you want to go in there and be like, Chicago's all that. Everywhere you go, we killing our own people from our own city. Then we want to turn around and say our city great. But we hate our city. Because it's safe to say he hate Atlanta if he running around shooting up Atlanta. He don't love Atlanta. How? But I just wanted to get it straight. When the police said he knew better than to go over there, they exactly right. He knew better than to go to the Opps neighborhood and shoot a video. And he should be held liable. He liable. He what we call a shit starter. That's what it is. He done went over there and started some stuff trying to front and want to put a video out and mock that neighborhood that I shot my video right on y'all block and y'all didn't even do nothing. See what I'm saying? And he know the people he trying to stun on. Because if I'm stunting over in this neighborhood, I know who run this neighborhood. I know who I'm really stunting on. See, don't let these brothers fool you. When he went over there and shot that video, he disrespecting the dudes at the top over there. And so when we live in these neighborhoods, we know who at the top in your neighborhood. So when I disrespect your neighborhood, if Big Larry and Chocho run over there, I'm directly disrespecting Big Larry and Chocho. So when I say y'all ain't gonna do nothing, that's who I'm talking to. So when he went over there, he was disrespecting the bosses over there. And that's why you're going to get a RICO, because if you disrespect the bosses, guess what you are? You are a boss on the other side. So Lil Baby then showed the feds that he the leader. He showed the feds, I'm the leader. I'm supplying the weapons. I'm the one with the money. I'm chief. He don't even know what he did. Now you go try to change the record label name and go and do all this weirdo stuff to try to make it so they don't want to be no gangster no more. But it's too late. It's too late. They locking him up for them shootings. If he was smart, he'd be on a plane right now. Because in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, they finna arrest everybody. They're going to arrest at least 12 to 32 people, if not more. It's finna be a gang sweep. And the fact that they ruined the Young Thug trial with the state, what that mean? That's why I say don't be in the streets if you ain't no real gangster and you really don't understand, because to be a real gangster, you keep your eye on the police and the feds, and you know what the police and the feds doing all the time. Like when I was in the streets, we knew they was raiding on Thursdays. On Thursdays, everybody shut down. They kicking doors in on Thursdays. We knew when the drought was coming. Oh, the drought coming. Hide the Benz, hide the Cadillac, hide the new Corvette, pull out the hoopty, put on some bummy clothes, because it's a drought. And they going to stick up everybody because they messed their money up. Now they can't re-up. You know what I'm saying? So when the drought comes, everybody knew. I kept some raggedy cars. Oh, it's a drought. Pull out the raggedy car. Yup, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yup. They would come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays was light. Thursdays was ugly. But they came Tuesday too. But Thursdays, hey, Moses, they used to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays all across the country. But Thursdays, and guess what else? Election year. Election year, you going to prison. You better hide the cars. Hide the cars election year. That's the federal elections and the city elections. Elections, tone that shit down. Task Tuesday, they coming. You have to tone down. That's where you learn not to wear no lot of jewelry, not to be flashy. No, you don't want nobody to know you want to get the money. You don't want everybody to know you got it. You want to get it. And once you let everybody know you got it, you will lose it. These young brothers don't understand the game. For a rapper, it does help a rapper to look flamboyant, but it's a certain levels to it. If you overdo it, it'll hurt you. No, he not built for jail. No. If they catch him, he gonna tell, just like Gunna. He gonna tell. Snitches is superstars now. Look at Lil Woody, a straight rat, and everybody praising this rat. Yeah, Moses. Yeah, they was. It was messed up out there. Women got mad at me because I got rid of all my cars and got an old raggedy van and took off all my fancy clothes. I wanted to stay free. Man, I took all that stuff off. Took my jewelry, put it in a safe deposit box. Man, I took all them clothes off, parked them cars behind my mom and daddy house and bought a family van. And that's how I served all them years in O Block. Because I wasn't no BD. They're not going to let me come in and out of there rolling like that. Every time I'm going out there, they think I was just some old buster. They ain't. That's why I said, you know what I mean? If you want to live like me and avoid, I never been to prison. You know why? You want to be a nobody. Sometimes I had dudes like, man, so who you know? Who know you? Don't nobody know me. But just a few guys I was dealing with and my customers. I wasn't trying to be known. They used to have a players ball and all my guys would go. And I never would go. I never went to the players ball. I would go over there and park across the street. One time my boy asked me, he said, was you at the players ball? I was like, no, I was at the player haters ball across the street, parked in my whip. Just observing. I didn't go in there. I'm not coming in there, bro. I might as well just go down to the police station and let them take my picture, bro. I'm not walking in there. The feds is in there. What is you, crazy? I don't want to be known. I'm trying to get money. I don't want to be known. And all my guys I used to get work from that wanted to be known, they all went to prison. They all went to prison. They all went to prison. In some cases, their family and friends and all their team went. My one boy, they surrounded the whole neighborhood. Yeah, the Jump Out Boys, Money XL. And it's up again. Or these rappers is doing too much. They coming on social media with too much jewelry on without the paperwork to show how they earned the money from the jewelry. You cannot show more than you could show the IRS that you look. There was this gangster. After they got Al Capone for tax, there was this gangster. And they wanted to go after him for the same thing. It's a fact. So what they did, they went and got every picture of him. And on one of his pictures, he had on a big diamond ring. And they got an appraisal on the ring off of the picture and arrested him for tax evasion because he could not prove how he bought that ring. Look it up. The man went to prison for wearing a big ring. Look at old boy in New York. He went to the fight with all that chinchilla mink and stuff on. That's how they got him. If he never would have went in there with all that shit on, he would have stayed under the radar. These dudes want to gangbang and have $50 billion worth of chains and watches on and do crime. If you are a felon and you can't have a weapon and you come outside with a whole bunch of jewelry and watches on, the police going to pull you over and pat you down because they know you got to protect that stuff. So you let them know, I got a gun. How they know you got a gun? Because I got on, you know, I got on $350,000 worth of jewelry. So I gotta have a gun. Duh. And all you're gonna do is just end up in prison or dead, basically. So that's it for that. I just wanted to explain why the police said he had no business over there. They 100% correct from the street point of view. From the citizens, I know it don't make no sense. What you mean he don't supposed to be over there? That's because you might not understand what a gang turf is. And a gang turf stays a gang turf. And ain't nothing the police could do about it. If we over here and we all four corner hustlers, when the police raid, they only gonna take away 10 or 20. When they gonna take them, but we still, the rest of us over here, we still on that. Ain't nothing changed. It's still 4CH over here. Because the police can't arrest everybody for allegedly being in a gang, and the police can't necessarily say for sure you in a gang. They can suspect it, they can see the tattoos and anything, but that's not enough in court to say you actively doing crimes in the gang. So that's why they can't stop it. Because if they raid this area, they're going to take 10 BDs. But what's 10 BD out of a whole BD neighborhood? Their little brothers and cousins and other people just step right up into position and keep nothing, don't miss a beat. Lil Baby wanted to let everybody know he was a boss. Why you think Q and them, QC and them sold the label? They wanted to get little or they was going to go to prison. Look, they was gonna go to prison. Okay? That's why they got little. They was gonna go to prison. Remember when they sold it, everybody like, why they sold? That's why. They cashed out. Because if not, they was going to prison. They was going to prison. Because they would have been the ones supplying all the money. And that's how the feds would have played it. The feds would have played it like, you the one supplying all the money. They slapped the RICO on. Because there's no way that you could be around all that and not know what's going on. You know what's going on. You know exactly what's going on. And they know you know. That's why you stepped away. You know what I'm saying? They stepped away early enough where they might not go. You know what I'm saying? They stepped away early enough where it would be harder. It would be definitely harder to put something on them. But anything is possible. But this is why they want to get some distance. Because the young boys making the OGs hot. See what I'm saying? The young boys was making the OGs hot. And they learned, the OGs learned from Suge Knight and Puff. Suge Knight and all that. And they say, okay, this is a wrap. Just like Jay Prince, if he don't sit down somewhere and get off of any social media, whatever, he gonna go down. Because he need to get the hell out the way and just shut up and just enjoy his money. And separate himself from Junior. because Junior gonna definitely get the whole family locked up. But that's what's up with that, y'all. I mean, that was some G talk. Victory.